Next up, we have some testimonials. I see David has entered the room. David is Caleb's father, and if you haven't met Caleb before, he lately is well known for speaking in front of a large church group, explaining how Jesus was found in all books of the Bible. And that was a large group that was very impressive when he gave that little talk. Now, let's hear from Caleb's dad. Take it away, David.
Thanks, Kevin. Hello, everyone. I think the main thing about this club is that the kids that are here really enjoy the club. This is something that really is a club that's not something that they need to be doing. And since all the kids enjoy it so much, they're doing something right. And I think one thing that Caleb gets out of it is that he's there with peers, people that are his own level as far as intellect. And this really helps stimulate him because this group is different than other groups that you may see out there in public schools or anywhere else. This club really challenges the kids to really focus on themselves, their personality traits, things that they can really get better at doing. And it really brings it out in the kids. You can see it in the group when someone comes in that's new, like Alvin, for example. I think his mom is here. He came in and he was pretty new to speaking. And you can see just in the 3 or 4 months that he's been in the group, he's really evolved and really come into it himself. And this is important because we all know that in their career, whether they're an engineer, and they did have a mechanical engineer give a career talk, and I'll touch on that in just a little bit, but this person came in and told them, as an engineer, people think you're just sitting in your office on the computer, but in fact, he told them that his main job is to give presentations and meetings of what they're working on. And so in any career they pick, if they're going to be in sales, of course, they're going to be talking a lot. This is really important that they develop this character. They learn about who they are in the club, how they can push themselves, their personalities. I think that's important because we know that like Kevin and Devin, they bring a lot of humor to the club. And as they grow and start their career, I bet they're going to be just as funny in a meeting as they are in the club. And then you have other kids that are really serious and they're learning to be a little more humorous like Kevin and Devin. So I think the club really brings everyone together and just makes everyone better at what they're doing. I mentioned briefly that they had a mechanical engineer in here giving a talk, and they have career talks every month or so. These are really good for the kids because they can see how in the adult world, in careers they may be interested in, they had a doctor, they had a lawyer, they've had another engineer, I believe, also. And they realize that this club is getting them ready for their future careers because we all know that all of these kids are going to be leaders in their fields. So speaking in public is just one small element of the club. Getting better at everything that they're doing and developing the personality, I think that's the key of this club. They're teenagers, they're kind of like clay, and this club helps mold them and shape them into, miniature adults, I would say, kind of in a way. And the club really equips them with what they need to be out there. I think the table topics portion is underrated in this club because I think teenagers have a hard time thinking on their feet just because they're teenagers and they're not challenged to do that. When you're in school, you have a strict script. And if you're on a subject, you know that they're going to be talking about, maybe the Roman emperor. So you know that you're going to be in that category or Shakespeare. But the way table topics works is they're challenged in all subjects. They don't even know what the questions coming at them is going to be. And I think that's something that's unique to this club. And it develops that kind of talking on your feet. So again, in their career, when they're maybe cornered and don't know what to say, they'll think a lot better with the skill of the table topics where they just get a question and they answer it. So there's so many different aspects. The evaluation is another thing where they can evaluate a speaker. And this is something that they can use in their career because, as you know, you can develop kind of sore points or maybe people don't like what you say if you don't say it correctly. And so the kids in the evaluation learn how to say things constructive. All these things are getting the kids ready or the students ready for really future careers where they're going to excel at. So I think the club has many aspects to it. And if you wanted to focus on one aspect, I would say they're going to be future leaders, and this club gets them ready for that. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And I totally agree because what you mentioned about humor is so important And many adults lose that sense of humor when they're in the workplace. They think, oh, I'm at work, I need to be 100% serious, when those are the most boring leaders and most boring speakers. Those who have learned humor and can bring it out from the inside and share it with others, those are the leaders that people want to follow. Those are the ones that bring that smile to people. And talking about bringing a smile to people, our next mom is the mom of a student here who brings a smile to every meeting she attends. She has that little spark of energy which just causes people to smile. Let's hear from Sarah, from Rachel's mom, Sarah.
Thank you so much. I completely agree with what David said. Like, I think the kids that are in this club, and I oftentimes I'll listen in, and I'll even enjoy the speeches myself. And I just think the kids are really excited about it, and they all seem to really love it. And there's just this core group of just dedicated kids. So, once they get involved and they really see how great it is, like they're very dedicated. So like I mentioned earlier, Rachel's been involved for about, since the beginning, about 2 years ago. And in that time, she's only missed one meeting. That's how dedicated she is. Like when we have gone on vacations, she did Toastmasters in Mexico. She did Toastmasters when we went to Disney World, and it was like started at 10 p.m. And she did it when we were driving to Zion National Park through these mountains and everything. And so the only time she missed her one, wait a second here. There I am. The only time she missed a meeting was when we were on a plane, and she just couldn't make it. So that's just the dedication that she has with this club and how excited she is. So in that time, she's learned, organization skills, leadership skills, time management, public speaking, responsibility. These are all things that have been cultivated through the last couple of years. She's been able to various leadership roles. She started with a Sergeant at Arms and has done secretary several times, which she really enjoys. And that's really helped her with organization, because she was not so good at that before. And now it's really helped her develop those organization skills as well. And this year, actually, this just kind of goes to show, how the club's effect on her. She ran a very wonderful campaign for her student body president, and did a great job. That's just something she would have never ever done before, but like it just inspired her, to seek out additional leadership roles. And so, and also she's had some great opportunities as well over the last couple of years. She did the opportunity to speak at one of the adult Toastmasters clubs. She spoke at the district conference, and that was such an honor, and she really enjoyed that. And she's always excited about, like, she sees the life kind of in a different way. Like she's always thinking like, oh, this would be a great, topic for a speech. So she's always kind of thinking ahead, and, just kind of always kind of thinking about like, how she could use, stuff that happens in her life in a club and vice versa. So anyway, I'm just so proud of all the kids, and they all do a great job, and I really enjoy it. And I'm so proud of Rachel and this, just the wonderful opportunity she's had to be a part of this club. And it's really important to develop these skills at this age versus, most adults, they don't really, they join Toastmasters when they're adults and like, oh, I need this for work, or, so forth. And so they're really getting a head start on, some amazing life skills. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Absolutely. It's great to see Rachel taking on leadership roles, both at meetings and in the club in general. Talking about taking on leadership roles, we also have Ethan, who has taken on many leadership roles, and he always also brings a sense of humor to every meeting. Sometimes it's somewhat subtle and it's purely academic humor, and sometimes maybe it goes over some people's heads, but those who are in the know understand what he does. So let's hear from his mom, Lynn.
Thank you, Kevin. Wow, David and Sarah, much better speaker than me, so I will try my best. When we first joined FLGC back in April 2021, by random chance, none of us had any idea about Toastmasters. In fact, that was the first time we had ever heard of it. Since public speaking was not really Ethan's cup of tea, I didn't really think he would be staying in the club for long. But now look at us. For nearly 2 years, he has barely missed a meeting and even served as an officer for 1 term. From a parent point of view, I think FLGC truly provides a positive and fun environment. The chemistry between all members has just the right amount of warmth, supportiveness, and inspiration. When Ethan attends the weekly meeting, he receives not only speaking and leadership skills, but also emotional support. He's appreciated and cheered and receives constructive remarks. I think the experience built up his confidence along with his speaking skills. There is a saying, many a mickle makes a muckle. Without a doubt, his time with FLGC will benefit more than just a speaking skill and school life. I am sincerely grateful for FLGC and each and every one of the members' support and friendship for Ethan. And moreover, every workshop coach and advisor's guidance and contribution. We are very fortunate to meet you. Last but not least, I encourage every family to invite more friends and classmates to join FLGC. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Lynn. Yes, Ethan, it's always a pleasure to see him at the meetings.